What is going on, everybody? Brickbuilder here, and welcome to a brand new Fortnite video. Today we have a background gameplay in the background here. This is not a live commentary. We are doing the solo showdown mode. It's sped up a little bit. The gameplay is pretty good though. We did pretty well in this game, so that is going to be in the background. But today we're talking about 3 things that Fortnite pros do really well, and kind of like my tips and perspectives on how you can become a Fortnite pro by really mastering these tips. Now, of course, there are other tips that I'm not going to be discussing in this video, so if you have any tips, guys, the comment section is a great place to discuss those, because obviously we want to help other Fortnite players get better, whether you have 100 wins or no wins, either or. Let's just jump right into it, but if you guys do enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. So, to begin, the first one, and this is probably the most simple of the 3 tips that we're going to be offering in today's video. This is knowing loot. This is a relatively basic concept to an extent, but I still see a lot of players who are newer to the game get this wrong. Color doesn't instantly equate to better gun. For instance, I've seen people who will take a semi-auto sniper that's purple over a blue bolt just because of the color. Now, personal preference there may play an impact, but the color alone should not be what justifies taking that sniper instead of the bolt. If you're going to choose your guns based on color, you're likely going to lose. The only way color impacts is obviously a gray tac shotgun is not as good as a green tac shotgun. So obviously that does play quite the effect. So definitely learn the colors, but the colors are only important to an extent. You also have to learn the gun types, what each gun's called, the ammo it uses, how much it can hold, and just knowing in general what gun is better to take and what ones you should be using in what scenarios. Because some people get that wrong, especially around things where it's like, do I snipe or do I use an AR? Things like that. Just in general, learning things like that will really help you turn to a pro. And you can clearly see that some of the really high up players on leaderboards and streaming and content creation, etc., who are really good at the game, know what loot is best, despite having to think about it. It's a snap judgment. You need to get that snap judgment. You need that. It's crucial to being a Fortnite pro. Also, in addition to that, you of course need to learn healing, because a lot of people get healing wrong, and honestly, it doesn't make sense to me. In my personal opinion, now if I'm a pro or not is personal preference, and that's up to you to decide. But as far as healing goes, you want to prioritize shield, in my opinion. I think it makes a lot more sense, and most other people agree with this, is shield is a preference. So even though those 2 minis might only give you 50 shield versus the bandages that'll give you more health technically, it doesn't instantly equate to better. I personally prioritize shields in most scenarios, although healing is one of those things where it's more of a personal preference. But just in general, pick a type of healing that you like and what works for you, and just stick with it. Try to follow what other players do if you're not sure what to choose. But generally, I go for shields just because my logic is you lose shield damage before you lose health. So that's kind of my logic in that regard. But that's kind of as far as you have to know for knowing loot. The second tip is building fast and editing fast. So recently, there's this new trend in Fortnite where build battles are a huge thing. They've always been a thing, but they're a really huge thing now, with popular players like Myth and other players really showing off these build battles. A build battle is essentially where you build up super high and you get into tower fights and you guys are pushing each other, trying to get above each other, sniping down, shooting down. Someone might break the base on the bomb or something along those lines. And the big thing with these fights are you need to be able to build really quickly and switch between walls, floors, stairs, etc. really quickly. You need to be able to check your mats on a snap judgment and know how much you're going to have left, because that's super crucial. You do not want to run out of mats in the middle of these fights. You'll basically lose all the time if that happens. In addition to that, you of course want to make sure that you can edit fast. And the reason I say that is when you're building fast like this, even the pros have errors. They'll put a wall atop of them or on the side there, and they want to go out to that side, but they put a wall, so now they have to edit the wall. By the time that person puts the door in there, generally the other person they're fighting is already built up above them and can just shoot them down. You need to have your edits on point. You need to be able to quickly edit and rotate stairs. You need to quickly be able to edit walls and ceilings and all that sort of stuff. You need to be able to quickly edit that. You also need to quickly be able to reset that. Once you build that door, boom, take it away. Don't let somebody else have access to that door. Another double-edged sword with this that makes it super useful to learn this skill is in addition to that, of course, just being able to edit faster is helpful. If a player's in a box, you break down one of the walls, and then you try to place a wall there. And once you do that, you can edit that wall, obviously, because it's not the opponent's wall. So then you can edit in a little window, shoot in, edit that window down, put a window somewhere else, open it up, shoot in again, etc. If you can do that super quickly, you'll pretty much win any fight where the person's trapped, because you can just build and edit, shoot in, unedit, shoot, boom, 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 bam, and win that fight. But here's the most important tip for winning games, guys. In my opinion, this is really what makes the pros very good. And as far as duos and squads go specifically, team communication. This is a skill I see so many people lack, and this is the most important skill ever. When you're going to play with people in your duo or your squad, you need to pick people who you're trusting in, who you trust. Now, maybe this is just Fortnite and it's not real life or whatever you want to call it, but if someone on your squad makes a call, you should either be able to quickly tell them why that's dumb and you think that you shouldn't do it in a respectful way, obviously. And then, of course, or just backing their play entirely. Both of those are skills. You got to be able to communicate well and effectively, whether that means using callouts such as I'm going to go to LeBron's in retail, or like Blacktop's house side in retail, or whatever you want to call it. Any sort of call out. You just need to be able to effectively communicate with your teammates. Specifically call outs. There's a reason there's numbers in north, south, east, west on the GUI. It was put there specifically so you could talk to your teammates. And you can even further prove that by the fact that Fortnite has voice chat. It was very apparent when they were making this game that talking to other players was supposed to be a focus. So team communication is crucial, and that's how some players manage to get crazy win streaks when they play with certain people. It's definitely super important, and if you can play off each other's skills. If someone's really good with a sniper on your team, then give them that sniper that you picked up that you're not that good with. But you just got to be able to work as a team and work effectively and start to learn each other's strategies and just kind of accept them. Because if you know what your teammate's going to do, then you can do something that doesn't screw them up and you can do something that benefits them. It's very important for winning in general, in my opinion. But that was my 3 tips for becoming a Fortnite pro. By no means am I like a leaderboard player or the best Fortnite player. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. But these are tips I've gotten just from playing and talking to other pros, or learning from watching streamers and content creators get really good at the game over time and such. Because a lot of these skills are skills that sort of transfer over to other games, but in Fortnite they're really intensified, which is why they're like the most important tips to be a pro Fortnite player. But if you guys enjoyed today's video and want to see more sort of these like number listy sort of Fortnite videos, make sure to let me know by dropping a like and subscribing. But I'll see you guys in another Fortnite video. Thank you so much for watching.